Have you ever had someone just live in your head, rent-free? I mean, it feels like they've moved in, unpacked their bags, and you just can't get them to leave. It's this maddening, totally universal experience we've all gone through.
It's like a song stuck on a loop, isn't it? You could be doing anything, working, driving, watching a show, and then bam, there they are again. It really makes you wonder, what is going on here? Is this just some weird mental glitch, or is there something much, much deeper happening?
And this is the question that really gets us, isn't it? The one that keeps you staring at the ceiling at 2 in the morning. Is this all just happening in your head, a one-way broadcast? Or are you both tuned to the same channel?
Okay, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to dig into why our minds get so haunted by a person. Then, we'll draw that really critical line between love and obsession. We'll even explore whether these connections can be a two-way street. And then, I'll give you a roadmap for how to reclaim your own thoughts. And you're going to want to stick around, because the final truth about what you're actually chasing, well, it might just shock you.
So, first up, let's get one thing straight. These constant thoughts are not random. Not at all. Your brain isn't just idly remembering someone, it's actively holding on to them for very specific psychological reasons.
So a huge reason for this is something called the Zeigarnik effect. You know when you're watching a show and it ends on a massive cliffhanger and you can't stop thinking about it? That's the Zeigarnik effect. Our brains are literally wired to remember unfinished business way more than things that are neatly wrapped up. And the same thing goes for our emotions. If a conversation or a whole relationship ended without closure, if things were left unsaid, your brain keeps that file wide open. It just replays it and replays it, desperate to find an ending that may never come.
And then you've got what I like to call the mental ambushes of daily life, emotional triggers. You hear that one song on the radio, you smell a certain perfume, you drive past that one specific place, and boom, it's like a mental time machine. These things are wired directly to the emotional center of your brain, and they don't just bring back a memory. They bring back the entire feeling, pulling that person right back into the front of your mind instantly. Now let's talk about the chemistry of your brain. See, if this person made you feel amazing, excited, happy, just alive, your brain forged a really strong connection between them and dopamine, the feel-good chemical. So now just thinking about them gives you a tiny hit of that chemical reward, and that creates a feedback loop. You think of them, you get a little rush, which makes you want to think of them again. It becomes this mental habit, an addictive cycle that you never even meant to start. So, with all these powerful forces at play in your brain, it leads us to a really, really important question. Are these constant, intense thoughts a sign of deep love, or have they actually crossed the line into something else, into obsession? It's so easy to mix them up, but believe me, they feel totally different.
So this is where we have to get really honest with ourselves. Are these thoughts rooted in a real, mutual connection? Or does it feel more like your brain is just spinning its wheels, stuck in this endless cycle of what-ifs that it just can't break out of?
Let's really break this down, because the difference is everything. Real love, it tends to feel warm, It's built on a solid foundation of mutual respect and connection. It makes you feel secure. But obsession, oh, that's a whole different beast. It doesn't feel warm, it feels urgent, overwhelming. It doesn't bring security, it brings anxiety, this constant restlessness. It's not about connection, it's about craving validation and overanalyzing everything, every text, every look, searching for clues.
Okay, let's get to the main event. The million-dollar question we all desperately want an answer to. If they're on your mind all the time, does it mean anything? Does it mean you're on theirs too? Is there any reality to this idea of a shared mental connection? I mean, we love the romantic idea, right? This invisible, energetic string connecting two people across space and time. We've all had that happen. You're thinking about them, and suddenly your phone lights up with their name. It feels like magic. The scientific reality, though, is a bit more grounded. Our brains are just absolute masters of pattern recognition. So when you're hyper-focused on someone, you develop a confirmation bias. You notice the one time they text you, but you completely forget the 100 other times you thought of them and nothing happened. Your focus makes the coincidences feel huge.
But here's a really fascinating twist for our modern times. Your own actions might actually be creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. Every time you watch their story or like their post, you're not a ghost. You're creating a little digital ping on their radar. Some people call this the mirror effect. Your consistent engagement could be subtly prompting them to think about you just because you keep popping up.
So, what happens when you're just exhausted by this? When you realize this mental loop is holding you back? Well, the great news is you are not powerless here. You can absolutely break free and take back your mental real estate. It just takes a little strategy.
So here's a simple 3-step plan. Step 1, detach. Seriously, stop fighting the thought. When it shows up, just notice it, acknowledge it, like, oh hey, there's that thought again, and then just let it float by like a cloud. Don't engage. Step 2 is huge, replace. Give your brain something new and better to chew on. Dive into a hobby, get lost in a project, connect with friends who make you feel great. Give your brain a new, more rewarding loop to run on. And step 3, test it. Do a little experiment. Pull back on social media, stop liking their stuff, stop feeding the thoughts, and just see what happens. Their reaction, or more likely their lack of one, is going to give you all the data you need.
So even after we try all these strategies, we still have to face one final, pretty profound truth about what's really driving this whole thing from the very beginning.
All right, I'm just going to say it. This can be a tough pill to swallow, but it's important. The fact that you can't stop thinking about someone does not automatically mean they're thinking about you too. More often than not, our minds hold on way, way longer than the other person does.
And this, right here, is the big reveal. The whole thing, the obsession, the mental loops, all of it, it might not actually be about them at all. It's about the feeling they sparked inside of you. Think about it. Your mind is chasing an emotion. Maybe it was the excitement they brought into your life. Maybe they filled a void of loneliness, even for just a little while. Or maybe they saw a part of you that you love, and they reminded you of the best version of yourself. That person, they've just become a symbol for an emotion your soul is craving. And it's that feeling, not the person, that your mind is truly addicted to.
And yet, we have to acknowledge it. Because sometimes, when a connection is truly real and deep and mutual, something else happens. Two people do think about each other at the same time. There's no science for it, no logic, it's just this genuine, unspoken pull. It's rare for sure, but it's real.
So, where does all this leave you? Is what you're feeling a clever psychological trick your brain is playing on itself, just chasing a feeling from the past? Or is it one of those rare, true, unseen connections? Well, here's the thing. You're never going to find the answer by trying to get inside their head. The real answer, it's found by looking honestly into your own.